It's been called liquid gold for a reason. Olive oil, one of the oldest ingredients in culinary history, holds a place of prestige in kitchens around the globe. But what really makes it so special, is it the taste, the aroma, or the ancient, meticulous process behind every drop? Today, we take you deep into the heart of Spain, the undisputed king of olive oil production, to witness how olives are transformed into this golden elixir. Every year, the world consumes close to 3 million tons of olive oil, but not all bottles are created equal. Some premium extra virgin varieties can fetch hundreds of euros. The secret? It's all in the origin, the process, and the speed at which it's made. Our journey takes us to the largest olive oil producer on Earth. Spain produces nearly half of the world's olive oil. At the core of this massive operation is the southern province of Jaén, home to over 66 million olive trees. Yes, more trees than people in many countries. This landscape, an endless sea of silvery green, produces as much olive oil as the entire country of Italy. And the trees themselves? They're ancient, resilient, and astonishingly productive. Some live for centuries, growing in rocky soil, surviving extreme droughts, and even bouncing back from wildfires. There are over 700 known olive varieties in the Mediterranean, but Spain's crown jewel is the Picual olive. Known for its thick foliage, high oil yield, and bold peppery flavor, this variety dominates the region. But here's the twist: not all olives make great oil. The taste, aroma, and even the health benefits of the oil depend on sunlight, soil, irrigation, ripeness, and especially the harvesting method. The harvest begins in late October and continues through January. But the most prized olive oil, the richest in antioxidants and flavor, comes from the first 3 weeks of the season. During this time, the olives are still green, dense in nutrients, and bursting with robust flavor. As the fruit matures, it produces more oil, but the intensity of flavor mellows. That's why expert timing is everything. A delay of just a few days can make a massive difference in quality. When harvest season hits, it's a full-speed race against time. Olive farms spring to life, working non-stop, 24 hours a day for nearly 2 months. The reason? Once picked, olives begin to degrade quickly. To protect their flavor and nutritional value, they need to be pressed as soon as possible, ideally within 4 to 6 hours. That's where modern machinery takes over. Specialized harvesters equipped with 750 rotating rods shake each tree, knocking ripe olives directly onto conveyor belts. These high-speed machines process an entire tree in just 10 seconds. They're even smart enough to adjust speed based on how densely packed the olives are in each row. This method not only speeds up harvesting, but it also protects the tree from damage and cuts down labor costs dramatically. A far cry from the traditional method of laying nets beneath trees and picking by hand. Once collected, the olives are rushed to the mill. In Spain's advanced operations, this can take as little as 90 minutes. There, the fruit enters the first stage: cleaning. Powerful air jets remove leaves and small branches. Cold water washes off dirt and surface impurities. Another round of filtering ensures that no debris taints the final product. Any damaged or overripe olives are discarded to protect the flavor. From there, the real transformation begins. The entire olive flesh and pit is crushed into a paste. This process breaks down the cellular walls, releasing microscopic droplets of oil. The paste is then transferred into a malaxer, a slow-turning mixer. This stage is delicate. As the blades churn slowly, the oil droplets bind into larger globules. It's a crucial step that determines how much oil is extracted and how rich the flavor will be. Timing again plays a pivotal role. Early harvest olives, rich in antioxidants, yield around 14% oil. Mid-season olives, softer and more mature, can produce up to 20%, but the flavor becomes gentler and less pungent. For those chasing bold taste and health benefits, the early green olives are the prize. Hidden behind the rich, golden gleam of extra virgin olive oil lies a process so delicate, so precise, it borders on the edge of art and science. In this world, even a few degrees can make or break the final product. Step inside one of the most tightly controlled environments in the food industry, the olive oil production line. It all begins with temperature. Operators vigilantly monitor thermometers, ensuring the olive paste never exceeds 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Why so precise? because even a slight increase in heat could cause the oil to start cooking, stripping away not only its delicate flavor but also its nutritional value. For about an hour, the paste is gently stirred. This isn't just mixing, it's a critical phase that softens the paste, making oil extraction during centrifugation far more efficient. Next comes one of the most fascinating mechanical feats. Centrifugation. The olive paste is pumped into a high-speed centrifuge, which spins furiously to separate the mixture into 3 distinct layers. At the end of this whirlwind motion, we get solid residue made from crushed pits and pulp, water, and finally, the liquid gold itself, olive oil. Depending on the technology in use, producers use either a 2-phase or a 3-phase system. In a 3-phase method, the first spin isolates the solids from a combined mixture of oil and water. That mix then moves into a second centrifuge, where oil is finally separated, yielding a stunning stream of pure golden liquid. But the journey doesn't stop there. The leftover pulp, known as alperujo, doesn't go to waste. It's repurposed, either composted into organic fertilizer or processed into biofuel. Nothing is wasted in this elegant system. The newly extracted oil now undergoes a meticulous filtration process. Fine mesh filters remove any lingering particles or air bubbles from the earlier phases. This step is essential not just for aesthetic clarity, but also for extending shelf life. The goal? Oil that's not only crystal clear but smooth, stable, and clean. Then comes a stage where human senses and science merge: quality control. Samples of the oil are taken and analyzed for aroma, taste, and chemical makeup. Experts examine its sensory profile and send it for lab tests. One of the most important benchmarks is free acidity, a measure of how much of the oil's fatty acids have degraded. For an oil to be labeled extra virgin, this number must not exceed 0.8%. If it does, it loses its status. And here's why extra virgin olive oil is so special: it's unblended, never heat-treated, and free from additives. Every bottle contains the pure essence of freshly pressed olives, but because of this purity, it's also more vulnerable. Oxygen, light, and heat are the oil's greatest enemies. Even after production, the battle for freshness continues. Once quality has been assured, the oil is transferred to massive stainless steel tanks, each capable of holding up to 300 tons. These tanks are kept in climate-controlled rooms to prevent oxidation, and to eliminate the threat of oxygen exposure. The remaining air in each partially filled tank is displaced with nitrogen gas, a protective measure that shields the oil from spoilage. Unlike fine wine, olive oil doesn't improve with age. It doesn't get better, it only degrades. That's why it's only bottled when needed, ensuring every drop retains the same fresh profile as the day it was made. At this facility alone, more than 600 such tanks are processed every year. Even the bottling process is a study in preservation. Exposure to light, particularly UV rays, can trigger oxidation and rancidity. That's why producers use dark green glass bottles, not just for tradition or aesthetic, but for protection. Once filled, each bottle is sealed, heat-sealed for freshness, and then labeled, ready to be shipped to stores and eventually your kitchen. Just one drizzle on warm bread or salad, and you're tasting the result of a finely tuned system, crafted to preserve every drop of nature's bounty. Stored correctly, extra virgin olive oil can maintain its quality for up to 18 months, and that from harvest to bottle is the untold story behind every precious drop of extra virgin olive oil. If this journey sparked your curiosity and you want more behind-the-scenes insights into the food we love, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. More delicious discoveries await.